Hey guys, I was going to save this video at least until tomorrow. For some stupid reason, I was going to wait until I had actually picked up my copy of Watch Dogs, which I hope to be picking up one tomorrow for the PS3 so I can finally get in on that and play that. Because I've been waiting for that game since long before its original release dates of like last October. And now it's been out for a couple weeks. I've had a chance to see streaming of it on Twitch. I've had a chance to see some videos on YouTube, read some reviews from several of the different online venues that I check out, like IGN and Kotaku and GameSpot, and then like forums like GameFAQs.com. And basically, it just sounds like it's a worthwhile game to get. And while I have some extra money, I wanted to buy some sort of a game. I had hoped to pick up Tomodachi Life on Friday, but my store isn't going to have it, so I'm just going to kind of wait and get that later. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point, though, has to do with Watch Dogs. I wanted to give my thoughts on a couple of different gaming companies, and the first one is Ubisoft. Ubisoft, to me, is still a pretty amazing company, despite the fact that they may be very legitimately categorized as a company sort of like EA and Activision and companies like that pump out certain games over and over again, like every year in yearly installments. Ubisoft is a little bit what's the word I'm thinking of? Guilty of in terms of Assassin's Creed. Even though I don't think that any of the Assassin's Creed games are really horrible. In fact, I own all of them except for the newest one, the Black Flag, the pirate one. And I'm currently, well, it's been a few months, but I've been playing through the first Assassin's Creed because I personally wanted to get through to number 3. Number 3 is the one I'm looking forward to the most, even though apparently it has a lot of glitches and whatnot. Maybe not the most polished installment. Probably the one where most people said, uh-oh, here they go. Then Black Flag came out and it got good reviews and was well received. That's a pirate game, so it's not like I'm in a hurry to get to a pirate game when I'm not really enthused with the pirates. But anyway, I'm just trying to pull up a list of Ubisoft games because I wanted to talk about more than just Assassin's Creed. They're known for, let's see, they did the Call of Juarez games, Brothers in Arms, Prince of Persia games. Yeah, that was a good series back on the PS2. I haven't played a lot of the newer installments, the Rayman games. That's going way back. Shaun White snowboarding. South Park Stick of Truth, there's a more recent game that was pretty well received. Tenchu Shadow Assassins, a lot of Tom Clancy's games. I'm purposely skipping over a particular one that I want to mention here in a minute. Yeah, they did the Zombie U game for the Wii U, which I thought they had. Okay, the main one I want to talk about, maybe their last great series, like ultimately great series, and that's of course the Far Cry games. Far Cry 3 blew me away when I played that the year before last. I haven't finished it. I want to go back and finish it. I'd like to try to get back there and finish it before Far Cry 4 comes out later this year, because I'm really excited for that one as well, because it's still going to be coming to PS3 and 360. But Far Cry 3 was an amazing game, ambitious, and such a mix of several different game genres. So anyway, I just wanted to mention how much I like Ubisoft, even though they teeter on that line of starting to move into like EA territory. They're still putting out some pretty quality games, and I think one thing I would commend them for was what I just mentioned. Far Cry 4 could have been an exclusive to the new consoles, but they're releasing it on the other consoles. And then let me look on this list here just to just to get assured here. Yes, Black Flag was released on the Wii U, and what was the other thing I was going to look at? Watch Dogs is still scheduled to come to the Wii U, even though it's not released for it yet. See if they show a date for that. Just says Q4 2014. Ubisoft is one of the last big third-party developers that's making stuff for the Wii U. So many other games are not coming. They're coming out cross-platform, but not on anything for Nintendo. So Ubisoft is still cool enough that they're doing that. I mean, and at least until we see, Watch Dogs, I'm going to assume it's still going to come out for it and that they're not going to cancel that. But a lot of companies just aren't supporting the Wii U, and that kind of transitions us. Those were just my thoughts on Ubisoft. It transitions this video to my thoughts on Nintendo right now. Nobody out there could accuse me of being any kind of a Nintendo fanboy. I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. The last console that I really, really, really loved and was fully absorbed into from Nintendo was honestly the Super Nintendo. As much as I love the N64, I've went through this in previous videos, it was really based around my love for Ocarina of Time and a few other games. As a whole, the console was somewhat underwhelming. It's held up so well for me just because of Zelda and GoldenEye and some Star Wars games and whatnot. The GameCube is kind of untapped potential for me. My collection, as if you've watched the GameCube video, I think it's a good collection, but I haven't really played many of those games. And then there's the Wii, which I have some decent games for that, but the Wii was kind of Nintendo's downfall in some ways. Even though the GameCube may not have been looked at in people's eyes like the PS2 and the Xbox, it was still a legit console that catered to everybody, and it had so many cross-platform games as well as a lot of really good exclusives. With the Wii, because they went for the gimmicky technology instead of keeping pace with Sony and Microsoft, and now the Wii U being the first HD console from Nintendo, even though the other companies have been in the HD world for almost 10 years, that's what's kind of killed Nintendo in a lot of ways. And I'm not going to put this as well as other people do, but Nintendo alienated a lot of their core fans. They alienated a lot of the, what I would call the hardcore gamers. There's gamers who are hardcore to Nintendo, and then there's gamers who are hardcore all around. And they've kind of disenfranchised the all-around ones, and even to an extent some of their hardcore Nintendo fans, by diluting the game pool basically with all the shovelware, all the silly gimmicky motion control sensitivity games that were meant to go along with that. And they made a console with the Wii that was aimed as much towards gamers as it was towards 6-year-olds and 80-year-olds. And there's somebody else that I watch, but I'm not going to say who their name is in case they weren't the ones who said this, but I think it was this particular YouTuber I like to watch who said that they lost their identity. Nintendo didn't know who they were, the fans didn't know who they were, the casuals didn't know who they were. So when the Wii U came out, nobody really knew what was going on. Obviously all those millions of Wii consoles that they sold, those people just bought it because they wanted the motion controlled gaming, or I'm forgetting the Wii Fit, something like the Wii Fit or exercise programs for older people, or for people who just wanted to have something in the house that would be interactive and entertaining, but it mainly served the purposes of silly little games, party type games, or fitness games. And when it came to Zeldas and Marios and whatnot, those people didn't know anything about those. They didn't care anything about those. And the Wii U, to them, was nothing, It could have been something additional for their Wii. But people who aren't into the console thing aren't going to pay any attention to the next console. Only the gamers are, and the gamers were so jaded and so disenfranchised from what Nintendo had done that I think, in my opinion, that's kind of what has done them in. Now, the reason why I'm even talking about this is because I'm not a Nintendo hater. Just because I prefer the Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft stuff more doesn't mean that I hate Nintendo. Doesn't mean I want to see Nintendo do bad. I would rather Nintendo be the viable third console. Competition brings out the best in everybody, and Nintendo has just sort of checked themselves out of the race. So now it's just Sony and Microsoft, and Nintendo is off to the side. And once again, this is kind of like a discussion better left to people who are more steeped in gaming console statistics and numbers, and people who are just smarter about it than I am. I really just wanted to say that I really hope that Nintendo can kind of sort themselves out and right the ship. And with the release of Mario Kart 8 last week, I guess it'll be a week ago from Thursday, which at my store we got 14 copies in and 4 console bundles that come with the game. And we had sold out of all the games in 3 days, and then we sold our first console yesterday or the day before yesterday, which is pretty good. You have to understand, in my store, that's pretty good. Where I'm at in the country and all that, I was happy about that. I guess that's the whole reason why I'm making this video, or this part of this video, is because I feel a little guilty that maybe I've kind of, thumbed my nose at Nintendo over the last few years, but I don't really feel that way. I don't wish anything ill against Nintendo. I hope that the Wii U is a viable console for several more years. I hope that they don't have to become like a footnote in history by putting out another new console, which there's been rumors going around, but they could be working on consoles for anything. I heard a rumor that they were working on something specific for China because that's a new market that they're getting ready to enter into. And that may be the only reason why any rumors about Nintendo and a new console have come out. But I'd hate to see them kind of throw the Wii U out and start over again right away. It's just time for them to start putting out their big franchises like Kart, like Super Smash Brothers. We need to see the new Zelda game. Honestly, I think we need to see an actual legit new Mario game. And I'm not even a huge Mario fan. But they've had the new Super Mario Brothers U and the Luigi Brothers, and then they had Super Mario 3D World, which was an awesome looking game, but it's not the successor of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. They need that, Zelda, Smash Brothers, which most of these things have been confirmed, and Mario Kart 8 selling a whole bunch of numbers, like over 1 million, 1.2 million copies or something like that in the first day or two. First couple of days, which is pretty impressive. They need more of that, and I want to see more of that from them because I want to see them in the game. A console race without Nintendo in it just wouldn't feel right. Okay, so that's enough of my pointless rambling about stuff that I really don't have the knowledge or expertise to be saying much more about. But let's just, like I said, Ubisoft is a good company that I hope doesn't go down the wrong, they don't take a wrong turn and become the next EA. Nintendo, I hope they right the ship and come out this year and next with enough to keep them competitive in some way. So that's all for me. I'm done. I'm going to go do something now with my life. Bye.